Ashley Eckstein at the Her Universe booth during Star Wars Celebration. Are you having a great time?
I'm having so much fun. Like, Celebration is my favorite convention ever.
Yeah, it's awesome.
How about you girls?
We've had a really good time so far. I think we've almost all of us have made it through.
First stop.
And my first stop too.
Yeah, first stop.
Had to come here.
Oh my gosh.
But had to break the bank here.
I'm so sorry.
You're not, and we
You're
love
not sorry, and it's okay. You know. All right, so we need to talk about this collection. So where did the inspiration for the title of the collection come from?
So, the backstory for Sisters of the Force. I was actually with my friends Savannah and Sean in Seattle, and we were just starting to plan our Celebration collection, and I didn't know what we were going to do. And I was asking them, and Sean, all of a sudden, Savannah's husband, said, "Why don't you do a Women of Star Wars collection?" And it was just like the light bulb went off in my head, and I'm like, why don't we do a Women of Star Wars collection? We've never done a whole collection dedicated to the women of Star Wars. So I thought that was really cool that, like, a fanboy said, hey, that would be really neat if you did that. So working title all year was just Women of Star Wars. And I originally, our community for Fangirls, for Star Wars, for Her Universe, I wanted it to be called Sisters of the Force. But at the time, the Night Sisters were coming out with Clone Wars.
Right.
And we didn't want to cause confusion. So we just, Lucasfilm created us a symbol, and we just went with the name Her Universe. But I never forgot about Sisters of the Force, and I've always wanted to use that name. Fast forward, almost 9 years later, I asked Lucasfilm, I said, can I please call this Sisters of the Force? And they said yes. So, and I looked up the hashtag, only had 2 posts on it. So I'm like, okay, well, we're going to use a hashtag too.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, Trisha, do you want to talk about your top, which I haven't been able to get in my size?
This is the best top.
Oh,
but I want to
thank
tell
you.
you a story because
Yes.
I'm making friends with this top. I'm walking through the hall, and someone says, great shirt. And I turned around, and it was Daniel Kennedy.
Yes.
Who designed this shirt, and you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, well, I love giving artists opportunity, and I've been following Daniel on Instagram for years, and I'm so impressed with his art. And literally for the past 2.5 years, I've been saying to him, I'm like, Daniel, when are you going to design a T-shirt for us? When are you going to design a T-shirt for us? And he's like, oh, we'll get to it. And finally, several months ago, I was talking to him. I'm like, Daniel, it's time. We're doing a Women of Star Wars collection for Celebration. It's time. Design me a shirt. And I held him to it. And this was the first design. Literally the first thing he came back with. And I'm like, done.
It's so amazing and comfy. It's just a little light, but nice and warm. And I'm in an extra small, so just, for people for sizes, I'm usually a medium. So, just so people know.
Well, and we purposely made that one our universe because we knew that guys and girls would both want the shirt. So girls are pretty much going down at least one size. Guys are ordering pretty much true to size.
So I have the Sabine motor jacket because I had to get it
Yes.
because it's totally my style. And I ended up in a medium in that jacket, which I was kind of surprised about because I usually go small, but where it hit. Where did the Sabine motor jacket come from?
Ooh, well, that came from just because obviously Sabine has become so popular, and we had done a shirt for her in the past, but her costume is so incredible, and I feel like it just deserved a jacket. And size, for the most part, if you know your Her Universe size, you can stick with that size. But sometimes different materials don't have as much give. So even though we're going with the same specs, or the specs is like measurements, sometimes depending on the fabric, if the fabric is stretchy, then you might go down a size. If it's not, you might go up a size. So it's good to pay attention to fabric.
So now in this collection, I love everything about it. The Padme lake dress kind of pops out at me. But for you, what was the very first woman of Star Wars that you wanted to represent with the collection?
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I was thinking
I'm like,
about that. I'm like, besides Ahsoka, because obviously.
Well, I was actually really overwhelmed because we couldn't do every single woman of Star Wars, and I didn't want to show any disrespect or leave anyone out. But I will say I specifically started with Padme because my personal favorite Padme dress ever since I saw the movie was a lake house dress, and I've been wanting to design for that dress ever since we launched in 2010, but I didn't have a way to make it because we started out with just t-shirts. I couldn't do ombre. I couldn't do cut and sew. So this dress literally has been a dream of mine since 2010. Like, that's how long I've wanted to do it. And then the hoodie is because sometimes I just want a wearable version. But then in working with Ashley Taylor, you girls know I love working with Ashley, I said, okay, Ashley, I think I have your hardest piece yet, is I want to have you do a print with as many female characters, Star Wars characters as possible. And so I actually gave her a list, and it was 27 characters. And I said, I don't think you can do them all in one print. And she goes, oh, yes, I can. Just wait. And she did. She fit all 27 into one print. So I know we left some characters out. I know that. And it broke my heart to leave characters out, but it was just the most we could fit.
You can always do a version 2.
I think we need to do a version 2.
Okay, so it just dawned on me because you were talking about ombre. Was the Boba Fett swing dress a kind of trial run for the lake dress? Because it does have some ombre on it.
Yes. You know, I can't say that it was. So the Boba Fett swing dress was just a beautiful piece of art that was in the Lucasfilm style guide and that we were able to recreate on a dress. But our designer, Samantha, she hasn't gotten too much credit here because she just got here. So I'm about to put her front and center because we have a designer. She's been with us for like the past year and a half for her universe. Her name is Samantha, and she designed, we worked together, and I basically gave her the inspiration of saying, okay, I want a Padme dress, I want an Ahsoka top, and then she went off and she was really the one that designed it, and she just did such a great job.
The Leia cape.
Yes!
Tell us a little bit about that because she means so much to all of us sisters of the Force.
So we had to do something for General Organa. It was my mission to do something. And so I love a good cape coat. I love a good cape blazer, anything with a cape. And looking at her costumes, we're like, let's do the cape coat. The fabric was really hard to determine. So we took a fashion interpretation. It's not a replica. We found a fabric that was close to what it looked like the costume was. And then we took our own liberties by putting General Organa, the hardware, on the front, and then also the Rebel symbol on the back. And originally the quote, "No one's ever really gone," was on the inside, but that obviously wasn't said by Leia, so we ended up taking it off because we wanted it to truly be a Leia piece. But our inspiration behind it was the quote, "No one's ever really gone."
So the booth, from at least our viewpoint, has been incredibly successful, and stuff is sold out on the website.
It has.
Crazy. Has the success of this collection surprised you, or is it right where you feel like it should be as a business owner?
Yeah. I have to say it has surprised me, but I hoped it would do this well. I mean, I've obviously been such an advocate for designs for, the female characters. But oftentimes, it's easier to just do that Darth Vader piece or, R2-D2 piece. And so, you want to prove that female characters will sell. And I think we've proven it. And it wasn't just me, it was our entire community are proving that female characters do sell.
Absolutely. And, I'm really excited because tomorrow you have a panel, right?
Yes.
And it's the Sisters of the Force panel. Can you tell us a little, give us a preview?
Okay,
Anything you can say?
It actually started out as it was going to be this huge celebration, and as many female, women in Star Wars, female characters, female executives on stage as we could get. And then there started to be conflicts with schedules, and it just wasn't feeling like it was getting farther and farther away from the original inspiration, which was, I want to tell stories of how women in Star Wars, whether it's executives or characters or fans, have inspired us. And so that's actually what we're going to do. It's going to be more of a conversation about each panelist is going to share a story about how they've been inspired by people in the community or characters, and they're stories we've never told before. So I think you'll hopefully everyone will walk away inspired.
Awesome. Well, we just wanted to pop in here and say hi to you and all of that good stuff.
Thank
Is there
you.
anything that you would like to share with our viewers or our listeners? Anything or our Yub Cubs, because that's what we call them. We call them Yub Cubs.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Well, I do apologize that a lot of the stuff sold out at record speed. That did surprise us. So we are reordering several of the pieces. So we'll announce when it's back. And yeah, I mean, the Sisters of the Force artwork is actually coming to the Wonderground Gallery very soon. So Ashley Taylor and I are doing signings at the Wonderground Gallery very soon.
Okay.
So check out that. And then I think we need to do a GIF. I think that's how we should end our segment, is we're in the photo booth at the Her Universe booth, and I think we all need a GIF.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's good.